You can't focus solely on effort, which is the hard work, but you want to focus on the impact that you're making. I'm making way more impact. And remember, I told you I'm working way less than I used to. More of an impact, way less. Family, what's up? Welcome to the Bacon Biz Podcast. Love seeing you, love having you be with us during this special time, whatever time that may be, early morning, late night, middle of the day. You just needed that quick pick me up, fam. That's why we're here, to give you bits of information for you to immediately apply into your life so you can have success. The ground rules for success on this podcast is that you'll always be uplifting, encouraging, and informing. You be like, John, you just tearing your thing up. Yeah, man, I don't want it to be the same all the time. Why do I not want it to be the same all the time? Because life is not the same all the time. We want you to be living your best life and a balanced life. And you know, I want to hear you say it every episode. I don't want an episode to go by that you don't say this. Say it out loud. Please say valuable information applied equals success. And man, the topic that I wanted to talk about today is, and this is a very challenging topic, man, why hard work doesn't always lead to success. I've lived a good life, man, long life for a lot of people, 56 years, man, and I understand personally that hard work doesn't always lead to success, man. I mean, it's crazy. You automatically think when people are positive, they encouraging, they uplifting. When you think people work hard, that life is going to be successful. Fam, that is not the case. Because what do we say? Valuable information applied. You can be a hardworking person, but if you don't have the right information, you won't be successful like you want to be. You can know all the information in the world. A lot of times when y'all come on here, fam, you already know what you need to do. The question is, will you do it? And can I be honest with you? I'm living my best life and I'm not working half as hard as I used to. That's the part that's crazy to me. It's not about the hard work. It's about the combination of all of the elements that we're going to be talking about in this episode that have led to success. So some of the things that hard work can't cover, that it can't fix, is if you have a lack of clear goals and strategies. You getting up every day, working hard. Fam, you working for somebody else, not towards your own goals and dreams. You are just existing. You will look back over your life a decade or so later and be like, man, I did all this hard work for somebody else's goals and dreams. Man, that's heartbreaking. Success requires for you to have a targeted goal. You gotta have a goal. Fam, please have a goal for your own personal success, not nobody else's, for your own personal success. Have a date of when you want to accomplish it. Have a plan of when you want to do it. And more importantly than all of that is to have committed action. No, I ain't say hard work. I just said committed action. So if you got the goal, you got the date, you got the plan and committed actions, fam, that thing that you've been working hard at doing is finally going to come into play. But you got to have a clear goal and strategy of how you want this thing to work. Man, I'm talking about me personally. I have been wanting so much to go to the next level in my career, in the plans I feel like God has on my heart, and that's to go into the schools and speak to the young kids, man, on how to have a firm foundation. So when they graduate, they walk across that stage, fam, they know what they supposed to be doing. And fam, I love the thought of it. I was working hard towards going in any direction, trying to make that thing happen, but I didn't have no clear goals. I didn't have no strategies. I'd be lying to you if I said that. I didn't have a date when I wanted it to be accomplished, and I didn't have clear-cut plans. So that's why it took longer than it should have, because I was working hard, but I didn't have none of those tools that I just got through telling you about. Sometimes why hard work doesn't work is because of our inability to adapt and learn. Family, you've heard me speak about it in some of these episodes, man, is that it took me a year to retrain my brain on how to adapt to this new learning. One of the strategies that I had to learn is fast learner, fast earner. The faster you can learn something is the faster you can earn money at doing it. And no, sometimes, man, I'll be wanting to take my sweet time. I'm talking about me. One of my weaknesses, I'll be wanting to take my sweet time and make sure I have this thing down pat. But sometimes my inability to adapt to doing things a different way, I have quite a few people around me that own Apple phones, and I am Mr. Android for life. But I feel like I'm going to have to go on ahead and go over to this Apple thing. I'm still struggling as I'm talking to y'all on this podcast right now of going over to Apple. Great product. One of my cousins, Kellen Brandon, that mug is always talking about, us Android users. But fam, it's one of those things that I just have a hard time wanting to adapt to. But I also know that it will make my family so much more happier. I ain't gonna go to hell if I switch over to Apple. It's one of those things. Getting past that, I gotta adapt to learning something different so that I can have this life that I want. Going along with some of the new trends. It's not breaking my belief system. Going along with some of the new technologies. It's not changing my belief system. And continually updating my skills and knowledge for this new area, new success of where I want to go into. So you got to learn how to adapt, please. Learn how to learn. Keep on learning. I told you, I can't be no mechanic in 1983's class of graduating and think I'm going to fix a 2024. You have got to constantly be adapting, constantly be evolving, constantly changing, constantly growing to have that next level of where you're trying to go to be successful. You can't stay stuck, fam. We are in a day and time that you have got to speed up your learning. You have got to speed up your ability to adapt in certain situations. Life is changing so fast for us, and you have got to learn how to, guess what? It ain't got to be, overnight. You got to cram in 4 years of learning in one day. No, it's not. It don't have to be that quick, but you do have to learn that you have to adapt. You have to learn new things so you can go to that new season. Hard work ain't gonna cut it. I don't care how hard you work if you don't adapt. Why hard work doesn't always lead to success is, guess what? We got to change up our networking. We got to change up our partnerships. We got to stop neglecting that. In order to go to this new level, we got to have different people. Okay. If I'm desiring to be a millionaire, I can't keep hanging around thousandaires. Okay. If I'm desiring to have phenomenal relationships, I can't be old school. I'm the man, I bring home the bacon and that's enough. No, my baby wants intimacy, quality time, physical touch. She wants words of encouragement. It's things that we have to adapt. You can't be the old school man in this new era. You got to make sure you are hanging around people of where you're trying to be at. So I want to be a new man. Guess what? I'm learning new things as a man. I'm learning to network around people that I want to, guess what? I want to go from working with alcoholics and drug addicts to working in the school system. So guess what? I had to change up my networking of friends that are working in those areas so that I can be that person of wanting to work with the kids. So every time you want to change in life, you have to adapt to the different kinds of people that you're networking with, the different types of partnerships that you have, the different type of relationships that you have, that you need to be building and maintaining. Because a lot of people, and we use it with, just saying with drugs and alcohol, a lot of people can get sober. A lot of people can't stay sober. It's the same thing with relationships. A lot of people can build on relationships, but a lot of people sometimes don't maintain the relationships. And it's critical because as opportunities arise for the new season that you're going into, you got to have the new connections also as well. So make sure that you have different networks of people that you're trying to hang around and different partnerships and different relationships that you're building on. Another way that hard work doesn't pay off is because if you have burnout or you neglect your health, hard work didn't pay off for you. It didn't pay off because you got burnout. It didn't pay off because you didn't take care of your health, because you can work. And fam, if you don't rest your body, if you don't take time out, if you don't give yourself a break, all that hard work you did can be for nothing, because you worked hard, you did what you're supposed to be doing. But guess what? Life happens. So you catch a cold here, you get the flu there, you get COVID here, you sprain an ankle, you pull a muscle, you just get fatigued, because these bodies are meant to go, do all the time. They have to have their moments. Are you getting the proper rest that you need? Hard work is good, is a beautiful thing. But if you can't maintain that hard work, you just hard work for a minute. And then guess what? You got burnout. You got overworked. You neglected to know that, guess what? Hard work is a beautiful thing, but you have got to take the time out, because if you're overworking without adequate rest and self-care, it's going to lead to burnout. So you have got to slow yourself down and get the rest that you need. Like I said, it ain't about the hard work. You just want to increase your productivity. So the time that you are using, you're being productive with it and effective. You want to make sure that you're slowing down so that you don't have burnout. Yeah, hard work is good. It is, fam. It really is. But how about you work smarter and not harder? Work smarter and not harder. Do the things, the different nuances to having a successful life. And hard work is just not going to cut it by itself. It's not. You can have all the hard work you want to have, but are you taking the necessary risk that you need to take in order to have a good life? You're working hard, but fam, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, what do we call that? Insanity. You have got to take some risk. In the transition of, you going into a relationship. You weren't in a relationship before. You're taking a risk. You want to go into a different field of work. It's time for you to take the risk. It's time for you to bet on you. But you also don't want to take poor risk. You want to have the risk management to be where it needs to be at. You want to take calculated risk. I'm going from speaking in drug and alcohol facilities to wanting to speak in the schools. Guess what? That's a calculated risk. That's because I'm taking the same vocals that I'm using to speak on to y'all right now on this podcast. The same vocals I'm speaking into for drugs and alcohol is the same risk that I took when I spoke into psych wards. Is the same risk I'm going to go and take and speak into these schools. It's the same ability. You're just changing up the environment. You're just changing up the field. So that's a calculated risk in order to be successful. So I want to take take the risk, but it's a great risk management that I'm taking, because I'm making sure that I'm going into something that I can possibly do, and then also wanting God to open up the door so I can go do that very thing that He's asking me to do. So I'm taking risk in that aspect, but at the same time, when you're doing what God told you to do, it ain't even a risk. You're just doing what you're supposed to be doing, and understanding how to manage risk is critical. Yeah. You don't want to just take risk and there's no payoff at the end. And what's the payoff? Is the payoff more than the risk that I'm taking? Heck yeah. How many lives can be changed radically if I go and take that risk? And, I don't want to complain. I'm real big on don't go complaining in life. What are you complaining about? Okay. Can you fix that? Get 2 or 3 answers to how you can fix that result, and then go and make that thing happen. So it's calculated risk. Make sure the risk that you're taking is calculated. You can't focus solely on effort, which is the hard work, but you want to focus on the impact that you're making. I'm making way more impact. And remember, I told you I'm working way less than I used to. More of an impact, way less. The cool part is I'm spending this time right now doing this podcast episode. And how many times I'm going to record this episode right here? I'm going to record it once. How many people can be impacted by this episode? As many people as listen to this podcast. That's the thing that's phenomenal. I'm taking one episode speaking, and I'm going to speak about 15, 20 minutes because I always like it to be in bite-sized morsels. I like bacon bits. I love it. I want it to be in bite-sized morsels, and how many people's lives can be changed by this episode. And look how many times I had to work. Once. But look how many people's lives can be changed. Thousands and even millions by me taking the time to take this effort. So it's the impact that I'm having, not so much the effort that I'm putting in. Your boy is getting older and wiser. I am super grateful for that. So it's not about how much effort you put in. It's about the impact that you're making. with the quality and quantity of time that you're using. Why hard work doesn't pay off is because you're not leveraging your strength. You're not leveraging your strength. Fam, I want to go speak more. I want to go do more things, but your boy is not gifted in the going in and making the contacts and getting that, still doing that, still networking, still going out and making different partnerships. But guess what? I need people that's behind the scenes that know more about this stuff than me. I got the gift to run my mouth. I got other people that's gifted to make the contracts, get the bids, get the grants, and get all of that stuff. So it's learning how to leverage your strength. Wherever you're strong at, man, leverage that in one area and then let somebody else do the other stuff. When I used to work as a BHT at in the psych ward, I used to hate having to draw blood. Oh my God, that is not my thing. I'm leaving that to the professionals. But what your boy could do is run his mouth. Guess what? My friends would draw blood for me in the place of me doing the group times that they used to have to do groups. It was a beautiful partnership. It's those things like that I ain't gifted at doing this. I'm not gifted at talking about domestic violence. I have to teach. I was supposedly having to teach a domestic violence class at my job. I love talking about loving on people. I'm not good at talking about people getting abused and getting done wrong, but that needs to be done. That needs to be talked about because that's how we fix the problem. Guess what? I had somebody come in else that was more gifted than me to be able to talk about that subject. See, that's the give and take of I'll teach your groups, motivate, encourage, and build the people up, teach them tools on how to change their life. Then I need somebody else to come in and do this class on domestic violence. That's the beauty of how we do it. And Brother James, if you're listening, I appreciate you for doing that. That's what it is that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to use our strengths, not work harder. Use your strengths the way they need to be used instead of you trying to go and just white knuckle it through and try to make things happen. Hard work is a beautiful thing, but if you have poor money management, all that hard work went for nothing. All of that hard work went for nothing. You worked hard, you hustled, you made the money, you worked overtime, you did double shifts, all that wonderful stuff. All that hard work. But if I don't know how to manage that money, all that money that I made goes down the drain. All that money that I made, it goes to the IRS. All that money that I made have nothing to show for it. You are a hard worker. There's no question, man. I'm telling you, you got the gift of hard work. But if you did all that hard work and you didn't manage your money correctly, all that hard work, you will have nothing to show for. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, went on the trip, all that. And bam, it's better now to, if you're not gifted, guess what? Work hard, but make sure you got somebody that can handle your money if you can't do it. Make sure you're doing the proper things of putting a little bit of money to the side, making it, you're investing, doing things of that nature, because if you're doing all that hard work, man, and don't have nothing to show for it, fam, you breaking my heart. You hurt me because there's no question in my mind. You ain't no lazy person by a long shot. You are a person that's really doing it. But fam, if there's somebody around you that you love, appreciate, and you trust, and they're better at money management, ask them to help you with the money management, because I would love for you to have something to show for at the end of your life. When it's those retirement years, I don't want you to have to go out there and working in your 70s and 80s. When if we'd have done what we had to do when we was working hard, took that money, invested, man, it's going to be a blessing. Managing finance effectively is critical to your success. It's super important. Last but not least, man, hard work is hard work, but what if the timing's not right? What if you're not ready for it? Because some of us, I'm not talking about a lot of us, I'm talking about including me. I ain't separate from this. You can be a hard worker, but your timing is just not right. It's just not, the environment is not right. The economy is not right. The situation is not right. The people around you are not in position. You working hard. You doing the things you need to do. The people that you need, the timing is not where it needs to be at for you to be the most successful at what you do. So you have to take that stuff in consideration. What is the timing of what I'm doing? Because you could be working hard, you can be doing your thing, but man, if the timing of that season is not right, it ain't gonna work. You think about it. Back when, it was the industrial age and cars was being built and people was working on the assembly line and all that, technology we wasn't ready for the technology at that time. So it didn't work. So you think about it, what season are we in now? We're in an information technology age right now. Hard work, that I'm gonna be honest with you, that's for the birds. It really is. How can I take, with the ability that I have, the time that I have, the energy I have, with the resources that I have, with the knowledge I have, and how can I put all that stuff in together to make where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do more effective? The hard work, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. We all should still be working hard. But it goes back to, is the timing right for what I'm trying to do in the economy, in the world, for where I want to do it at? I told you, timing has got to be perfect. It can be all the hard work in the world, but if the timing is not right, man, that hard work is not going to amount to anything. And then last but not least, I'm working hard, but I don't have no faith in what I'm working in. I love that my daddy said this. Faith without works is dead. Remember, so you busting your tail. You working hard, but you ain't got no faith to, guess what, believe for that thing that you're trying to believe for. You're working hard. People can see their hands down. You're working hard. You know the difference between a lot of people that work hard and people that are doing what it is that they love to do. They have faith to take risk in those different areas to get what it is that they desire to get. It had nothing to do with nothing else, but they have faith in themselves to take the risk to finally get what it is that they've been desiring to get. There are people that are listening to this podcast right now as I'm speaking, and deep down, your heart ain't really where you're working at. Your heart is really in some other area that you are tremendously gifted to do. So I need you to take your time and stop working hard for somebody else. And I need you to work hard for yourself and moving in the direction that you really want to move in. Because when you're doing what you love to do, man, it makes life that much more sweeter. It makes life that much more sweeter. It really does. I want you to be able to get up in the morning excited about what it is that you've been gifted to do because you're working hard in that area. And then I want you to be able to lay your head down knowing that you shot your shot that day, doing what you love to do. And you can lay your head down at rest at night knowing, God, I've done what you blessed me to do. I've done what you called for me to do. It's a blessing. So family, please do me a favor. We got to get past just working hard and start using the other things to sharpen our gifts. Working hard. What if I have an axe and I'm trying to cut down a tree, but the axe ain't sharp? It's going to take way more effort to cut down that tree with a dull axe than it would be for me to take a few minutes out, sharpen that axe, and use the same energy. It's going to take a whole lot less time to cut down that tree because the axe got sharp instead of me trying to use hard work, brute strength, and trying to cut down that tree. Family, I love you. I want the best for you. Do me a favor. Don't just work hard, work smarter. I love you. God bless. All right. What's up, family? It's your boy, John Bacon from the Bacon Bits Podcast. Thank you so much for your support, likes, and ratings. Please don't just listen, but rate me, follow me, and subscribe. This is an amazing way to offer free support. My beautiful queen and I have some books that we have written for your growth.
So the first book we have is a workbook, actually. It's called Healthy Relationships, and this is a workbook through the lens of faith. Because what makes a relationship healthy or unhealthy? So this workbook is designed, it's a 12-week, it's a biblically grounded course, and every week has a few different principles. So if some of our principles, some of our topics that we're covering are respect, cultivating security. And this is not just between a husband and wife. This is between parents, between siblings, between friends, between your bosses, employers. So it's really important, and everyone deserves a healthy relationship.
And also we have The Balanced Life by John Bacon. It covers how to be prosperous in your finances, relationships, your health, your mind, and your spirit. So you can pick that up on Amazon, also on audiobook And we also have
The Unraveling, a creative healing journal, pinings, poems, prayers, and ponderings of my precarious life. I've had a testimony of, I've had 2 brain tumors and 2 brain surgeries, and I'm super grateful, but I'm still grieving the process of healing. And this is part of the process. In this book, you have devotionals, you have prayers, and you have some ponderings. And in between these pages, there's a space for you to also be prompted to paint and to create your own, or maybe you want to write something in these books. This is part of your creative healing journal that we get to walk through together.
And you guys can just head over to Kingdom Servants First. Kingdom Servants, the number 1, st.com. And you can purchase all 3 of these books. Thank you for your support, your love, and your contributions. God bless.